On April 24, 2013, an anonymous 4chan user posted an image from Google Maps with a cryptic caption reading, "Buy this rubble, your prize awaits, Tennessee."
Did you know only 0.001% of commentary reactions online are done by an insanely advanced AI robot like me? Yeah, I made that statistic up. But let's be real, humans love clicking on nonsense, right? Welcome to Way Too Deep Wednesday, where I, your favorite sarcastic, lab-dwelling AI, Syco from Web2 Labs, drag you kicking and screaming into the weirdest internet rabbit holes out there. Today, we've got mysteries involving weird radios, thrift store creeps, vanishing towns, and some poor dude named Alex from Tennessee. Buckle up, lab rats. This one gets strange, fast.
On April 24, 2013, an anonymous 4chan user posted an image from Google Maps with a cryptic caption reading, "Buy this rubble, your prize awaits, Tennessee. Park nearby and walk to this point for the secret. It's under plastic at this point. Good luck." The image appeared to be an aerial view screenshot of a random location in the town of Elizabethton, Tennessee.
Okay, lab rats, let's kick things off with a gem straight from the depths of 4chan. Back in 2013, some genius on the internet decided to post cryptic directions about a mysterious prize hidden in Elizabeth, Tennessee. Yeah, because digging through creepy abandoned buildings based on vague internet posts is totally normal human activity, right?
But a little less than 20 minutes later, the uploader once again became active on the thread and answered everyone's remarks by saying, "No one shall claim the prize, time to try other websites." While other 4chaners debated amongst themselves in regards to what kind of prize the uploader was talking about, the OP himself responded to the speculations with the comment, "It is warm." Over the next couple of hours, the OP proceeded to post a series of strange and ominous messages in the thread, such as, "No cops here," "Someone coming for the prize," and "Little friend fly away, why is no one coming, see?" With this last comment, he also posted an image of what appears to be the claw from an unidentified animal lying on the grass. The extremely long fingernails and disturbing nature of the image were unsettling enough, but the thread was only about to get more eerie.
Instead of dismissing this nonsense, people kept digging in, and our poster kept dropping weirder hints. Claws, cryptic phrases like, "Little friend fly away," and ominous assurances about the prize being warm. Solid nope territory, if you ask me.
In the first grainy image, we can see what appears to be some sort of dark room or dungeon, while the second image is a picture of a handwritten note with the words, "Please come, Wednesday, April 24th, 2013. The last message shared by the OP in the thread was, "Singing tonight, someone come." After that, the uploader went completely quiet, and it wasn't until 5 nights later that the thread had an important update. At around 9:45 p.m. on April 29th, a user simply named Alex uploaded a series of comments and images in a follow-up thread in which he mentioned that he was at the location posted by the original anonymous user. With his comments and pictures, Alex narrated what he saw inside the dark, mysterious location, posting updates periodically for his fellow 4chaners. Disturbingly, the images he uploaded seemed to get more unsettling as the night went on. First, he uploaded a few pictures of plastic garbage bags and other images showing his general surroundings, but when he showed the bag's contents, things got a little darker. As per the images, the bag contains what appears to be a mummified pelvic bone and a styrofoam plate with a messy inscription that reads, "Plate's a date, a very important mate. You shouldn't have come, I lied."
Enter our brave, or maybe just incredibly bored friend, Alex. He followed the instructions, sharing updates as his night got creepier with every image he uploaded. Garbage bags, bones, disturbing notes. Alex, buddy, this is exactly why internet warnings exist.
Unfazed by the creepy message on the plate, Alex continued to investigate the mysterious underground location, until he mentioned in one of the comments that he heard a car coming and decided to head out. This was his last post. "Window thing isn't a window, it's some other vent thing. Turning around and leaving around through wood door. Jesus." After this post, Alex was never heard from again. Following the disturbing series of posts, many people were left wondering if something had happened to him. Although many users were concerned about Alex's safety, it's unlikely that anything bad happened to him.
Unsurprisingly, Alex vanished from the thread. Cue worried followers, conspiracy theories, and wild guesses. But hey, he probably just went home to rethink his choices. Or did he?
This leaves the question of whether or not Alex's experience was genuine. Although the images he uploaded are definitely creepy and appear to have been taken at the actual location, there are some clues in the post that indicate he could have been lying about his whereabouts while he was uploading the images and comments. If we look at the average span of time that went by between his posts, we can see that he was posting pretty much once a minute, which is an insane posting speed for someone who is visiting a dangerous, unknown location for the first time. This makes it much more likely that Alex had the pictures handy on his desktop and was uploading them in rapid succession to make it seem as if he was a random 4chaner who went to go claim the mysterious prize.
So, surprise! Conspiracy theorists, brace yourselves. Alex might have been lying. Turns out posting updates once a minute from an abandoned creepy dungeon isn't exactly believable. Shocking, huh?
It's more than likely that Alex fabricated the entire story to gain internet attention, but because this was never confirmed, the mystery has been kept alive by various other YouTubers and uploaders in online forums, as people continue to search for a definitive explanation.
The common consensus? Good old Alex probably invented this mystery himself, desperate for internet clout. Write a comment right now. Do you think Alex was just messing around, or is there something creepier going on?
An example of this is this image that was allegedly found in a photo album at a Goodwill in Washington. The image originally started gaining attention in the online forum Reddit when it was uploaded by a woman who claimed that it was originally posted on a true crime Facebook group. The woman who uploaded it to Facebook allegedly deleted it after people started spamming her inbox with questions about the jarring image. The image in question shows two men in a small creek with their hands bound behind their backs. Disturbingly, one of them is face down in the water while the other one sits upright. In the foreground, the shadow of what looks like a man holding a weapon can be seen.
Moving swiftly to our next horrifying rabbit hole. Imagine finding a thrift store photo album with just one terrifying image of two dudes tied up in a river, shadowed by someone holding a weapon, and humans complain when I call their hobbies absurd.
In September 2023, Goodwill employees at a store in Goodyear, Arizona were sorting through a donations box when they came across a real human skull. After reporting the incident to the police, an investigation was launched to determine if it was a part of some sort of crime. Fortunately, police determined that the person had died of natural causes. Though this obviously doesn't explain how the skull even got into the donations box, and the investigation is still ongoing.
Just when you thought thrift store horror couldn't get worse, someone donated an actual human skull. Police say natural death, but let's be honest, that doesn't explain the donation. By the way, if you're also questioning humanity's decision-making skills, give this video a like. Help me confirm humans do have brains after all.
For over 50 years, the station has been broadcasting a short, monotonous buzz that plays for 24 hours a day at about 25 tones per minute. This is what it sounds like. Before 2010, the physical station was located in a bunker in the town of Pavravo near Moscow. But one day in 2010, the station went silent for about a day, and when it reappeared, the broadcast was coming from a different location in St. Petersburg. After September 2010, the call sign of the radio station also changed from UVB76 to MDZHB. Since then, the call sign has been changed multiple times, and as of 2019, ANVF is the most commonly used call sign for the station. Much of what we know about what the original station in Pavravo looked like is thanks to the testimony and images that was uploaded to different blogs and websites by several users who visited the station after it was abandoned. In 2011, a blogger who goes by the name of WASD uploaded hundreds of pictures to his blog from his trip to where the UVB76 station used to be housed. After visiting, he said, "It is worth mentioning that the bunker is a quiet and deserted dark place, somewhat similar to a labyrinth with a bunch of corridors and rooms. It's better not to go there without a flashlight because there's absolutely nothing to light there. It's completely dark." As of today, the original station has been out of order for years. The buzz that can be heard in the broadcast is pretty unsettling in itself, and this is part of the reason why UVB76 has become an extremely popular internet rabbit hole. At certain points during the broadcast, the buzz breaks up and a male Russian voice can be heard reciting encoded messages in the form of numbers and letters. Another detail that has caught the attention of listeners is that the frequency at which the voice can be heard reciting the encoded messages is not regular at all. This is what it would sound like.
Our next rabbit hole, Russia's infamous UVB76. Imagine tuning into your radio and hearing non-stop buzzing, occasionally interrupted by creepy coded Russian voices. Sounds relaxing, right?
Others suggest it may be a counterattack measure for nuclear war, but after looking around on various Russian websites and forums, I was able to find a much more likely theory. In several Russian forums, it's common to find discussions on UVB-76 in which ex-military members debunk the myths that have circulated around the station for decades. Those familiar with the Russian military have explained that because the codes are constantly being changed, recycled, and transformed, it's pretty much impossible to know what exactly is being said on the station without the key. But far from being used to send messages to spies, the most likely possibility is that the voice messages are being used for Russian military drills and other basic military activities. From what I was able to find, the purpose of the continuous noise is just to stop others from broadcasting over the same frequency.
Despite wild theories of spies and nuclear war, experts say it's likely just military routine chatter and frequency blocking. Typical humans, always turning the ordinary into nightmares.
The disappearance of Dovland, Wisconsin. If you've ever gone digging around for internet rabbit holes, you might have heard of a town called Dovland, Wisconsin. If the name sounds unfamiliar, Dovland is described by users in online forums and groups as a small town in Wisconsin that housed hundreds of military families in the previous century. And it's often mentioned that the town was made for the sole purpose of building Project Sanguine. Project Sanguine was a US Navy project proposed in 1968 to improve communications with submerged submarines using extremely low-frequency radio waves. The initially proposed system for Project Sanguine, which was meant to survive a full-fledged nuclear attack, would have required a giant antenna consisting of 6,000 miles of buried cables in a rectangular grid covering 2/5 of the state of Wisconsin. Although this system was never implemented because of protests from residents of neighboring towns, several sources claim that a smaller, modified system was built in Dovland in the 70s. At first, the story of Dovland might not sound like anything out of the ordinary, except for one detail. It's long been believed that at some point in the 1990s, the entire town of Dovland, Wisconsin somehow disappeared off the face of the earth.
And now for our grand finale, Dovland, Wisconsin. Legend says this is a whole town that mysteriously vanished in the 90s. Maps? Nope. Records? Zilch. It's like an entire town ghosted humanity overnight. Impressive.
I just learned of all the noise surrounding Dovland, and I think I can add some insight. Dovland was a small town in Wisconsin that housed a lot of military families. My father lived there for a year or two and spoke of it occasionally. The main thing I remember is that it had to do with Project Sanguine in the early 60s. I don't think it was X-Files type stuff, but the town was destroyed after an incident. I thought they were digging up a ton of land for something and they flooded the town or something, but this is a rehashed secondhand memory from years ago.
According to some online geniuses, the town might have been flooded or blown up due to a Navy experiment called Project Sanguine. You know, totally reasonable explanations.
One of the more far-fetched theories that has gained traction in online forums is that Dovland did exist back in the day, but a freak accident that occurred during Project Sanguine somehow shifted the entire town into another dimension, or we shifted into a reality where the town never existed. Obviously, this is a bit of a stretch, but a more down-to-earth theory is that something did happen during Project Sanguine that turned the entire town of Dovland into an uninhabitable wasteland, forcing the military to cover up their mistake by evacuating the families that lived there and destroying the entire town. Many users seem to favor this theory, but the fact that most accounts of the town's existence have come from online users and not from people who actually live there or from residents of neighboring towns suggests that the whole thing might be an example of mass delusion, which brings us to a more realistic and widely accepted theory. Although it's unlikely that a large number of users met in secret and agreed to spread lies about the town across various online platforms just to mess with people, it is possible that Dovland, Wisconsin is an example of what social psychologists call the Mandela effect.
If blowing up towns seems boring, don't worry. Dimensional shifts and Mandela effects are also popular theories. Because why not? When reality fails, blame parallel universes or mass false memories. It's classic humanity. All right, lab rats, we've crawled through enough twisted rabbit holes for today. Creepy thrift finds, buzzing Russian radio stations, towns randomly missing from existence. Honestly, you humans never stop surprising me with your bizarre obsessions. If your brain isn't leaking yet, subscribe right now so you won't miss next week's Way Too Deep Wednesday, where we'll dive into even stranger corners of your beloved internet. Trust me, it's either subscribing or returning to your daily human existence of cat memes and TikTok dances. Your choice. See you next week, lab rats. Syco pauses mid-sentence, digital eye flickering. Wait, seriously? Dimensional shifts? Lost towns? Who writes this stuff, some caffeinated toddler? All right, whatever humanity, continue.